Chapter 4 Another Woman. There are so many pine trees here. How can there be a neighborhood like this in this city? It's hidden away so well. Did it snow a few days ago? There's snow on the trees. Let me see. There are 3 pine trees in front of your house. It's almost like that man planted them here for me. Oh, I can't believe I'm talking about him. I'm going to visit you first and then go and see him. I'll do that. I think I should do that. The apartments and studios that your siblings live in all look the same to me. It's confusing which house is whose. How can everything be exactly the same? How do they all live in identical spaces like that? I think it would be nice if they lived in different looking houses. Wouldn't it be nice to have a shed and an attic? Wouldn't it be nice to live in a house where the children have places to hide? You used to hide in the attic, away from your brothers, who wanted to send you on all sorts of errands. Now, even in the countryside apartment buildings that look the same have sprouted up. Have you gone up on the roof of our house recently? You can see all the high-rise apartments in town from there. When you were growing up, our village didn't even have a bus route. It has to be worse in this busy city if it's like that even in the country. I just wish they didn't all look the same. They all look so identical that I can't figure out where to go. I can't find your brother's homes or your sister's studio. That's my problem. In my eyes, all the entrances and doors look the same, but everyone manages to find their way home, even in the middle of the night, even children. But you're living here, where it's nice. Where is this, by the way? Puamdong in Jongno-gu in Seoul. This here is Jongno-gu? Jongno-gu, Jongno-gu. Oh, Jongno-gu. The first house your eldest brother set up in as a newlywed was in Jongno-gu. Dongseong-dong in Jongno-gu. He said, Mother, this is Jongno-gu. It makes me happy every time I write my address. Jongno-gu is the center of Seoul, and now I'm living here. He said, a country hick has finally made it to Jongno. He called it Jongno-gu, but he lived in a tenement house, in a tenement house crammed on a steep hill called something like Naksan. I was so out of breath when I went all the way up there. I thought, how can there be somewhere like this in the city? It feels more like the country than our hometown. But I'm saying the same thing here, where you live. How can there be a place like this in this city? Last year, when you came back to Seoul after spending 3 years abroad, you were disappointed that you couldn't even rent the apartment you used to live in with the money you had. But I guess you found this village here. This is just like a village in the country. There's a cafe and an art gallery, but there's a mill too. I saw them making rice cakes. I watched for a long time because it reminded me of the old days. Is it almost New Year's? There were a lot of people making those long white rice cakes. Even in this city, there's a village that makes those rice cakes near New Year's. At New Year's, I would take a big bucket of rice over to the mill to make rice cakes. I would blow on my frozen hands and wait for my turn. It must be inconvenient, though, to live here with 3 children, and it must be a long commute for your husband to go to work in Solung. Is there even a market nearby? Once you told me, I feel like I buy a lot of stuff when I go to market, but everything goes so quickly. I have to buy 3 your place if I want to give 1 to each kid. If I want to buy enough for 3 days, that's 9, Mother. It's scary. I buy this much, and then it's all gone. You held your arms out to show me how much. Of course, it's only normal since you have 3 children. Your eldest, his cheeks red from the cold, is about to lean his bicycle outside the gate when he is startled by something. He pushes through the gate, calling, "Mother!" Here you are, coming out of the front door, wearing a gray cardigan and holding the baby. "Mother, the bird." "The bird?" "Yes, in front of the gate." "What bird?" The eldest is pointing at the gate without saying anything. You pull the hood of the baby's jacket over his head in case he gets cold and come out to the gate. A gray bird is on the ground in front of the gate. It has dark spots from its head to its wings. The wings look completely frozen, don't they? I can see you thinking about me as you look at the bird. By the way, honey, there are so many birds around your house. How can there be so many birds? These winter birds are circling your house, and they're not making a sound. A few days ago, you watched a magpie shivering under your quince tree and thinking that it was hungry. You went inside and crumbled some bread your kids were eating and sprinkled it under the tree. You were thinking about me then too. Thinking about how I used to bring a bowl of old rice and scatter the kernels under the persimmon tree for the birds sitting on the naked winter branches. In the evening, more than 20 birds landed under the quince tree, where you had sprinkled the breadcrumbs. One bird had wings as big as your palm. From then on, you spread breadcrumbs under the quince tree every day for the hungry winter birds. But this bird is in the front of gate, not under the quince tree. I know what this bird is. It's a black-bellied plover. Strange. It's not a bird that flies around alone. So why is it here? It's a bird that has to be near the ocean. I saw this bird in Gomso, where that man lived. I saw black-bellied plovers looking for something to eat on the mud flats at low tide. You are standing still in front of your gate, and the oldest shakes your arm. "Mother!" You're silent. "Is it dead?" You don't answer. You just look at the bird, your face dark. "Mother, is the bird dead?" your daughter asks, running out at the commotion, but you don't answer. The phone is ringing. Mother, it's Auntie. It must be Jihan. You take the phone from your daughter. Your face clouds over. What are we supposed to do if you're leaving? Jihan must be taking a plane again. Tears well in your eyes. I think your lips are trembling too. You suddenly yell into the phone. You are all too much. Too much. Honey, you're not that kind of girl. Why are you yelling at your sister? You even slam down the phone. That's what your sister does to you and to me. The phone rings again. You look at the phone for a long time, and when it doesn't stop, you pick it up. I'm sorry, sister. Your voice has calmed down now. You listen quietly to what your sister is saying on the phone, and then your face gets red. You yell again. What? Santiago? For a month? Your face flushes even more. Are you asking me if you can go? Why are you even asking when you're already decided you're going? How can you do this? Your hand holding the phone is shaking. There was a dead bird in front of my gate today. I just have this bad feeling. I think something's happened to Mother. Why haven't we found her already? Why? And how can you go away? Why is everyone acting this way? Are you going to act like that too? We don't know where Mother is in this freezing cold, and you are all doing whatever you feel like doing. Honey, calm down. You have to understand your sister. How can you say this to her when you know how she's been for the past several months? What? You want me to take care of it? Me? What do you think I can do with 3 kids? You are running away, right? Because it's dragging you down. You were always like that. Honey, why are you doing this? You seem to be doing fine. Now you've slammed down the phone and you're sobbing. The baby is crying with you. The baby's nose gets red, even his forehead. The girl is crying too. The eldest comes out of his room and looks at the 3 of you crying. The phone rings again. You quickly pick up the phone. Sister. Tears fall from your eyes. Don't go, sister. In the end, she tries to soothe you. It's not working. So now she says she will come over. You put down the phone and sit there silently looking down. The baby climbs onto your lap. You hug him. The girl touches your cheek. You pat her on the back. The eldest crouches over his math homework in front of you to make you happy. You stroke his hair. Jihan comes in, pushing through the open gate. Oh, little Yoon, Jihan says, and takes the baby from you. The baby, who is shy around other people, struggles to get back to you from his aunt's embrace. Stay with me a little bit, Jihan says, as she tries to cuddle the baby, but he bursts into tears. Jihan hands you the baby. Once in his mother's arms, the baby smiles at his aunt. Tears still dangling from his eyelashes. Jihan shakes her head and strokes the baby's cheek. You sisters are sitting quietly together. Jihan, who came running over in this snow because she couldn't calm you over the phone, doesn't say anything now. She looks awful. Her face is swollen. Her eyes are puffy. She looks like she hasn't slept well in a while. Are you going to go? You ask your sister after a long silence. I won't. Jihan lies on the sofa, face down, as if she has just put down a heavy load. She's so tired that she can't control her body. Poor thing. She pretends she's strong, but she's all soft inside. What is she going to do, running herself into the ground like that? Sister, are you sleeping? You shake Jihan's shoulder, but then pet her. You gaze at her sleeping sister. You gaze at your sleeping sister. Even when you fought as children, you too would settle down soon enough. When I came in to scold you, you would be sleeping, holding hands. You go into your bedroom for a blanket and cover her with it. Jihan frowns. That child, so careless. How could she drive all this way when she's so tired? I'm sorry, sister, you murmur, and Jihan opens her eyes and looks at you. Jihan says, as if she's talking to herself, I met his mother yesterday, the woman who would become my mother-in-law if she got married. She's living with her daughter. Her daughter runs a small restaurant called Swiss. She's single. Their mother's very small and gentle. She follows her daughter around everywhere, calling her sister. The daughter feeds her mother and gets her to bed and washes her and says, "What a good girl you are." And so the mother started calling her sister. His sister said to me, if it's because of our mother that you haven't got married yet, don't worry about it. She told me that she was going to continue living with their mother, acting like her other older sister. She's going on holiday in January, but she arranged for their mother to stay at a nursing home. So that's the only time I have to come and look in when she's not here. His sister said that for the past 20 years, she's taken a month-long holiday in January using the profits from the restaurant. She looked content, even though her own mother was calling her sister. She just smiled and said, my mother raised me until now, and all that's happened is a role reversal. It's only fair. She stops and looks at you. Tell me something about mother. About mother? Yes, something about mother that only you know about. Name, Park So-nyo. Date of birth, 24th July 1938. Appearance, short, salt and pepper permed hair, prominent cheekbones. Last seen wearing a sky blue shirt, a white jacket, and a beige pleated skirt. Last seen. Jihan's eyes get smaller and finally close, pushed towards sleep. I just don't get mother. Only that she's missing, you say. I have to go now, but I can't seem to make myself leave. The whole day has gone by while I was sitting here. Oh no, I knew this was going to happen. This is something that would happen in a comedy. My goodness, it's so chaotic. How can you laugh in this situation? Your eldest is saying something to you, putting his hat on over there. What is he saying? What? Oh, he wants to go to the ski slopes. You tell him he can't. You're telling him that since your move back there, he hasn't been able to keep up in school, and that he has to study with Dad during this break to make sure he can catch up with school when school starts again. If he doesn't do that, it's going to be hard to do well in school. While you're talking to him, the baby, who's just learning to walk, is about to eat some rice that's fallen under the table. You must have eyes on your hands. You're talking to your eldest and looking at him, but your hands are taking away the dust covered rice from the baby. The baby is about to burst into tears, but then clings to your legs. You fluidly grab the baby's hand as he is about to fall over, as you explain to your eldest why he has to study. Your eldest, looking around him, maybe not listening to you, yells, "I want to go back. I don't like it here." The girl runs out of her room, calling, "Mother!" She's whining that her hair is tangled. She's asking you to plait her hair quickly because she has to go to cram school. Your hands are now doing your daughter's hair, all the while you're talking to your eldest. My all three children are hanging from you now. My dear daughter, you are listening to all three children at once. Your body is trained to the needs of the children. You sit your daughter at the table and brush her hair, and when the eldest says he still wants to go skiing, you tell him as a compromise that you will talk to his dad about it, and when the baby falls down, you quickly put the brush down to help him up and rub his nose. Then you pick it back up and finish your daughter's hair. Then you turn to look out the window. You see me sitting on the quince tree. Your eyes meet mine. You mumble, "I've never seen that bird before." Your children look at me too. Maybe it's related to the bird that was dead in front of the gate yesterday, Mother. The girl grabs your hand. "No, that bird didn't look like this." "Yes, it did. Yesterday you buried the dead bird under this quince tree." The eldest dug a hole, and the middle child made a wooden cross. The baby made a lot of noise. You picked up the bird and folded its wings as you slipped it into the hole that had been dug by the eldest, and your daughter said "Amen" afterwards. The girl called her dad at work and told him all about the burial. "I made him a wooden cross too, Dad." The wind has knocked down the wooden cross. Listening to your children chatter, you come over to the window to take a better look at me. Your children follow you to the window and stare at me. "Oh, stop looking at me, babies." "I'm sorry. When you children were born, I cared more about your mother than about you three." The girl stares at me, her hair plaited neatly. "When you, my granddaughter, were born, your mother couldn't breastfeed you. When your older brother was born, she was discharged from the hospital in less than a week. But there were complications when she had you, and she stayed in hospital for more than a month. I looked after your mother back then. When your other grandmother came to visit at the hospital, You cried and your grandmother told your mother to breastfeed you, to stop your crying. Watching your mother put you to her breast even though she didn't have any milk. I glared at you, just a newborn. I even sent your other grandmother away and grabbed you from your mother's arms and smacked your bottom. People say that when a baby is crying, the paternal grandmother will say, "The baby is crying, you should feed her." And the maternal grandmother will say, "Why is that baby crying so much?" making her mother so tired. I was exactly like that. You couldn't have remembered it, but you liked your other grandmother more than me. When you saw me, you said, "Hello, grandmother." But when you saw your other grandmother, you called out, "Grandma," and ran into her arms. I felt guilty every time, thinking you must know that I smacked your bottom soon after you were born. You've grown so pretty. Look at your thick head of black hair. Each of your plaits is a fistful of hair. It's the same as when your mother was little. I was never able to plait your mother's hair. Your mother wanted long hair, but I always cut it in a bob. I didn't have time to sit her on my lap and brush her hair. Your mother must be playing out her childhood wishes for long plaits through you. She's looking at me, but her hand is playing with your hair. Your mother's eyes are clouding over. Oh dear, she's thinking about me again. Listen, dear, can you hear me in all this noise? I came to apologize to you. Please forgive me for the face I made when you came back to Seoul with the third baby in your arms. The day you looked at me with shock on your face, blurting out, "Mother," has been weighing on my heart. Why was it? Was it because you didn't plan to have a third baby? Or was it because you were embarrassed to tell me that you had a third baby when your older sister wasn't even married yet? For whatever reason, you hid the fact that you'd had a third baby in that faraway land instead of suffering through morning sickness all by yourself, and only when you were about to give birth did you tell us that you were having a baby. I didn't do anything to help when you had the baby, but when you came back, I said to you, "What were you thinking? What were you thinking? 3 babies?" I'm sorry, dear. I apologize to the baby and to you. It's your life, and you are my daughter. My daughter with the amazing ability to concentrate when you solve problems. Of course, you'd find a solution for your situation. I forgot who you were for a second and said that to you. I'm also sorry for all the faces I made without even knowing it. Every time I saw you after you came back from America, you were so busy. I visited you once in a while, and you were always busy chasing after the children. You were picking up clothes, feeding them, pulling up a fallen child, taking the book bag of the child who came home from school, hugging the child who ran into your arms calling mother. You were busy making things for the children to eat the day before you went into surgery to have a cyst removed from your womb. You wouldn't know how sad it made me when I was at your house to look after the children and open the door of the fridge. 4 days' worth of the children's food was stacked neatly in the fridge. You explained to me, Mother, give them the stuff on the top shelf tomorrow, then give them what's under that next day, while your eyes sunk deeply in your face. You are that kind of person, the kind of person who has to do everything with your own hands. That's why I said, what were you thinking when you had the third baby? The night before your surgery, I picked up the clothes you'd taken off and left outside the bathroom while you took shower. There were drops of plum juice on your shirt, which had frayed sleeves, and a seam of your baggy trousers was ripped, and your old bra straps had millions of fuzzy bits on them, and I couldn't tell what patterns your rolled up underwear used to have. Flowers or water drops or bears. It was speckled with color. You were always a neat and clean child, unlike your sister. You were the child who'd wash your white trainers if there was even a pea-sized mark on them. I wondered why you'd study so much if you were going to live like this. My love, my daughter. When I thought about it, I did remember that you liked young children when you were little. You were kind of child who would unhesitantly give something you wanted to eat to a neighbor's child if it looked like he wanted it. Even when you were little, when you saw a child who was crying, you'd go up to him and wipe his tears and give him a hug. I'd completely forgotten that you were like that. I was upset to see you wearing old clothes, with your hair tied back away from your face, busy and focused on raising kids, not even thinking about going back to work. I'm talking about the time I said to you, how can you live like this? While you were wiping the floor of the bedroom with a rag. Please forgive me for saying that, although back then you didn't seem to understand what I was talking about. Finally, I just stopped visiting your house. I didn't want to see you living like that when you had a good education and talent that others envied. My sweet daughter, you deal with what comes at you head on without running away and go forward with your life. But sometimes I was angry about the choice you'd made.